Well, here she is, one fully restored 1981 Suzuki Stockman LJ81. A lot of blood and sweat from a lot of people got us here. You want to see the final assembly and reveal? Stick around. Now it's the following morning and everything is dry. So I'm going to start untaping some of this stuff. However, I'm going to leave the cab taped up, and I'm going to leave that taped up fully because I've got to do some raptor coating on the floor in there, and I don't want that raptor coat overspray to get out here on this fresh paint. So we'll just untape and unhook some of the small, simpler stuff. For me, this is one of the more fun parts of the job. I don't know, it's almost like unwrapping Christmas presents or something. And today is December the 24th, so this is pretty cool, working out here in the shed until the family comes over for Christmas Eve drinks and nibblies. Jill's very busy in the house at the moment, getting the nest ready for all of our visitors. And I have been asked to come to the shed. If you're thinking, how come you're not in there helping? Well, I got kicked out. This is pretty cool. And the camera's probably not going to be able to detect this very well because the photo sensors have so much difficulty with the color red. But that's obviously what I've sprayed. That paint there inside of the indicator is the original orange paint. And apart from the fact that that's a lot more dull, it is almost identical. In fact, I would call it identical to the paint that I've sprayed on there. I'm so glad it got to be matched as closely as that. That's awesome. I had to go back to my original photos to work out whether the clear lens or the amber lens went on top. Make sure that we get this the right side up. Made in Japan, facing upwards. Now, it doesn't make a damn bit of difference from a functionality point of view, but if somebody's looking over the car real closely, that's something that I would pick pretty quickly is, hey, you got your lenses on upside down. Sweet! This is when you find out whether you're a master taper or not. When you pull this off and you got overspray over everything. And that looks pretty bloody good to me. Oh, a little bit of overspray there. We got our grill here, which turned out amazing. Flip him over, and we've got these individual black grill pieces that need to go on. Now, just line them up and make sure that they're all identical. Yep, they're all identical. Okay, check that out. That looks awesome. Let's go fit that grill up to the car. Okay, I cleaned up our indicator lenses and the headlights with a little bit of Windex. And now, let's hang this grill. Won't tighten that down quite yet. Get the other one started. Well, as it turned out, all of those grill bolts were stainless steel. So I just put them all on the buff, cleaned them all up, and they should last longer than the car. Here we have it, stainless steel bolts. That looks bloody brilliant. I like it. Check this out. When the car was wet, a bit of bloody old paint flew onto the car and stuck right there. She is not coming off, so that's now a permanent fixture. These are the tie downs for our bonnet, and they had stainless steel screws as well. So I managed to get them on the buff and buff them up. One bonnet holder downer. Yeah, we got our side marker lights here. Time now to put these side markers on. And there is writing on the face of them, which I'm going to put the right way around, of course. But you can put these on upside down, because if you were to flip them around like that, they've got a little notch here, and that's actually a drain hole. So if you put that to the top, all the water's going to fill up into this indicator lens. So it does have to go that way around. Side marker lens done. This side marker was smashed all to bits, but all the bits were still there. So I was able to get some Aeraldite and pop that all back together. And it actually turned out all right. It's in one piece now. Now I do not want to tighten this sucker down too tight, because I'll end up with a smashed lens just like I started. There we go. Looks good. Now I've got my hinges here, and I have marked them. This one says driver's bottom, so it goes down there. Now these bolts that I put in here were simply to keep the threads clear of paint. If I were to put a spanner on that paint on these bolts would just bust all up. So I have some brand spanking new yellow anodized bolts. I reckon they're just gonna look sensational. That is awesome. They just pop. That plate inside of the A-pillar is not adjustable, so I can run those down permanently. The adjustability happens on the door side. How good does that new hardware look on those hinges? That is awesome. Now when you're peeling this tape off, it is important that you peel away from your job. Because if you peel towards your job, you can actually pull the paint off. And of course your tape always rips at the most inopportune time. I'll line my bonnet panel up. Start to rain, I can hear it on the shed roof. I've got the two diagonal bolts done up, just to make sure that I've got this bonnet square. It's a nice even gap here along the front. The back has got to come out marginally on this side, just about there. Good. Let me run that down now. Nice and slow. No chipping paint. Let's see if she opens all right. Doesn't foul. Excellent. The gaps look good on the front of the bonnet. Excellent. That gap along the back of the bonnet looks really good. And the distance between the bonnet and this bonnet catch on both sides is pretty equidistant. So I'm going to call that a win and run the remainder of those 4 bolts down. Now I'll affix these little bonnet catches. And these bolts were stainless steel. So I was able to hit them on the buff and bring them up to nice shiny new. I love stainless steel for bling. Excellent, looks good. And now for these springs, one of these foam coverings had just deteriorated to nothing. So Arch gave me some shrink wrap, and we just put some shrink wrap over that spring. That's worked out quite well. And there we go, beautiful. I got a little bit of this trim detailer because I'm putting these window bars in place, and I want to make sure that this trim is detailed before those bars go in there, because I can't get behind them. Boy, those are nasty, nasty seals. They are thirsty. I don't reckon they've seen any sort of trim detailer in decades, multiple decades even. Now you'll recall, if you've been watching these videos, this particular one was shaped like a banana. It was a giant U. Must have taken a whack from something. She's all straightened out now. Now I've got something special for right here. Awesome. Now I've got my little cowl vent all covered up here, and I want to spray some black inside of that. So this is where you hope you've got it all masked off properly. Because if you don't, you'll know about it. Now for this little sucker here, I'm just going to paint it by hand with a brush. Still using my 2-pack. This little squirter is made out of hard plastic, and it is thirsty for paint. Wow. Like the end of a piece of timber, just sucking it up. Okay, I'm going to reassemble that back valance panel. Start by mounting the number plate on this number plate bracket. Beautiful. Beautiful. That reflector's got a line through the guts of it. So I'll line that up so that line's horizontal. All right, the rear valance panel is now finished. It went together quite well. Unfortunately, that lens is broken and I don't have a replacement, so I can't do much about that. But other than that, everything looks pretty bloody good. Even up under the number plate here, there's a little number plate light. So I just took that little cover off, cleaned it up on the wire wheel, and hit it with a little bit of silver paint. So that rear valance is now ready to get installed back onto the car. And over here, we've got John putting on our door rubbers. These poor door rubbers have seen better days, but you work with what you got, right?
That's correct.
And on top of that, I didn't have any bloody black 252. I only had white 252. Looks good. I don't see any white poking out anywhere, John, so I think you've got it. I think you've got it pretty well. Jacob and John have installed the interior, which looks just bloody awesome. Jacob's gone over everything with some trim detailer, and we've done a little bit of reupholstering with some duct tape, which looks pretty bloody good, actually. Jeff's going to get these seats reupholstered anyway, so we've just covered them up as best we can with some duct tape. Door seals done, install interior done, detail interior done. Now we got to paint some rims.
All right, so what's happened here?
We're getting a little bit close to the edge of defeat here. On the old tire, this stem just popped off all by its lonesome. That little sucker there. So that was just sitting there minding its own business. And that's the inside of the valve stem, and it just blew off and flew across the shed. We're gonna try and get that in this way. Normally they come from the other way, they come from the inside out. But that means we got to take the tire off the rim, and it's December 26th, and there's no chance there's going to be a tire shop open. I think there's a slim chance there'll be a tire shop tomorrow. Is tomorrow Sunday? Yeah,
I can't think straight at the moment.
Yeah, me either. So yeah, feeling a little bit defeated here at the moment. I do have tire pliers, so we could take this tire off the rim the old-fashioned way.
We've used a bit of anti-seize as well on the rubber to try and persuade it.
Yes.
It's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen now.
Well, we tried.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
We pulled the other one out so easy.
We did. No, that tire's got to come off the rim, and that's got to come in from the other side. We were going to have our big reveal in 2 days' time. So this is a showstopper because this car's only got 4 tires, and this is one of them.
Well, at least all the air's already dropped out of the tyre for you.
Yeah, exactly.
We could definitely get this done tomorrow.
Yeah.
Paint, like if you did that in the morning when you're fresh.
Yep.
All day to paint, and then that's it.
And that's it, exactly. And I've had to resort to packing tape as well to tape up my rims because we've run out of masking tape. I don't know how many rolls I've gone through. It'll be 5, 6, 7.
It's adding up.
Yeah, it's adding up. Okay, we'll raise the white flag on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I got my bead breaker 4000 here to replace that valve stem. Got a bottle jack on a bit of timber jammed underneath my FJ45. Let's see whether this will break that bead or not. I'm sure it will, I just don't know whether the jack has a long enough stroke to break it. If not, we'll have to resort to a plan B and maybe a C and a D and an E. That's it, we're at the full stroke of the jack. Bugger. Okay, my bead breaker 1000 didn't work, so I'm stepping it up to the bead breaker 2000. I'm just going to lower the car onto this rim. Hopefully, the bead breaks before the front tires bottom out on the concrete. That's close. That's real close. All right, that didn't work, so I'm now on to the bead breaker 3000. Ha-ha, gotcha. Move that block of timber around a little bit more.
I cannot accept that course of action.
All right, Jacob and I have got this bloody tire off the rim finally. We ran it over with the Land Cruiser to break the bead, which has worked. So now we're just filling a new valve stem. There it is. That's got him, eh? Yep. You tire. Nice job, mate. That's the way. We're back on track.
We're back on track.
You guys are going to be putting on some mud flaps, or putting on some guards, I guess. And
They're a big truck.
Holy.
genuine Kenworth mud flaps.
Magic.
And they are freaking genuine too. Unbelievable. Arch got those.
What a legend.
So those are awesome. You won't get two trucks further apart from a Kenworth and a Suzuki Stockman, would you?
Definitely.
So while you guys are putting the guards on, I've just taped up the sides. I'll bring those out and we're gonna get ready and gonna raptor this. All right, I've got the sides all taped up. I got the tray all taped up. It's ready for raptor. I've never sprayed this stuff before, so it'll be interesting to see how I go. I'm told it's pretty easy. I guess if you can spray paint, you should be able to spray this stuff, eh? We'll see. So the instructions say, mix this stuff with that stuff, shake for 2 minutes, and go ahead and spray it. Driver side footwell's done. Now I'm heading over to the passenger side footwell and get that one knocked over.
The number plate light as well.
Oh yeah? Yep, cool. And did our side marker lights work as well? Yep, that one's going. And yep, front ones, both headlights are going. Yep, sweet. And that side marker. Awesome. I think we're ready to push him out. Put our tray on, eh? All right, Jacob, swing off the BAS. Oh yeah.
That wasn't even that hard.
I thought it was going to be worse.
We're taking off the tow ball to put that baby on. Oh, we gotta put the words the right way. All right, Jacob, spin her down, buddy.
Radio.
Don't tip the car over. There we go. Polish the knob. Oh, yes.
Perfect alignment with the lettering.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Push it towards John. That's it. Perfect.
Yep.
There you go.
I've got little holes here at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, this lined up here.
Yep, that's lined up here too. Hat.
Spanner on there and nip it.
Yeah, run it down a couple of threads. All right, we're putting our scrub rail back on. And thanks to Hamish, we've got nice clean bolts. Jacob's under there with a, what is it, a 17 and a 16, Jacob?
Oh, this one's a 16. But
There's just some funky asshole sizes on these bolts.
Multiple choice.
John, you had 14s up front on yours, didn't
14s,
you? Yeah, there's
yes.
14s here, there's a 17 and a 16, just to keep you guessing. Okay, let's have a look at our list. Tray guards and spare wheel carrier, done. Raptor the tray, done. Affix the tray, done. Rear valance, done. The lighting, done. Bull bar, done. Side steps, done. Raptor interior, done. Door cards, done. I got 4 things left on the list, boys. Door seals, paint the rims, install the interior, and detail the interior. Now it's on to taping up these sidewalls. I'm working on the bit of tape that goes around the tire and the rim, and Jacob is doing a little bit of Christmas wrapping, which you will see what I'm talking about very shortly. There's our tape job. And you can tell we're getting desperate for raw materials when we're using packing tape and wrapping paper instead of newspaper. But that's the way it is, unfortunately. I bet, Jacob, when you were coming over to help with the restoration of a vehicle, you never thought you'd be cutting wrapping paper. All right, we've got our Christmas donuts all taped up. Jacob's going over them with some wax and grease remover. We've matched the color up as best we can. I had 2 tints and I just mixed them together to approximate what the rims look like. And we're ready to shoot. So I'll start with these little puppies, Jacob.
awesome.
All right, we got our rims all painted now. They came up very nicely. 3 of them were excellent. This particular rim had a little bit of pitting in it. It's not as smooth as the other 3, but still not bad. So we'll let that paint flash off, and as soon as that's done flashing, we'll pull this tape off before before the paint sets in case I've got any overspray on the tires. We can get some thinners and get it off. All right, here's our rims. We've got them drying in our baking oven, which just happens to be behind the clouds at the moment, but it'll come up shortly, and these should flash off pretty doggone quickly. They look really good. We had very, very minimal overspray. So Jacob did a fantastic job with the paper wrapping donuts.
That's it.
We won't take the tape off those valve stems until they're dry properly, because that's a bit more of a delicate operation. All right, now Jacob and I are gonna move on to hanging the doors. That weather strip should have all set off now. That's been on there for some time. Pull the tape off and hang some doors. Luckily, they don't weigh all that much. Okay. All right, what's that got us, mate? That looks pretty good to me. You?
Yes.
Front to back is good. Up and down is good. Looking right down the panel. That's as bloody close as you could get it, I reckon. Jesus, I have never in my entire life adjusted the door that quickly. Look at that!
That's awesome.
That is sensational. Even with the wipers on, it gives it just a, I don't know, a little bit more complete, a little bit more bling.
That's right. Yep. And the mirrors. That's the mirrors color.
Yep, should be sweet. This is the maiden voyage out of the shed since the resto's finished. Give her a little squirt of fuel, mate. She'll go. Another couple of pumps. It's called a carburetor, Jacob.
I thought it might have had a horn.
Whee! Look at that. Whoo-wee. Doesn't have the best turning radius, does it? That is friggin' awesome. Good thing this is a wide angle lens, because Jacob and I are pretty close to one another right now.
We're very close.
Don't touch me. Get on your own side.
Hey.
Hey, you're on my side. So what speed are we actually doing?
I couldn't tell you. So probably, that says 90.
Yep.
So probably like 65, I reckon.
Yep, about 65, yeah.
Feels like 60.
Our speedo is around about 20 kilometers out, but the faster you go, the further it gets out.
But yeah, you can feel it in your leg muscles.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you had more than, I don't know, 5 or 10 kilometers to drive, yeah, you'd be getting out going, oh my God, I can't walk. That's a good little jigger, isn't it?
It's awesome fun.
Well, the shed is quiet. The boys are gone home. 17 days ago, I picked up this 1981 Suzuki LJ81 from Jeff. With the help of all the guys you saw in the videos, plus Kimmy and Jilly keeping us all fed and watered and bearded during this restoration, we are now complete. The list is done. There's one item left on the bottom. Return to Jeff and Annie. It is truly remarkable we've got that truck finished in 17 days, especially given the fact that it was over the Christmas period. I picked it up on December the 10th. Today is December the 27th. December the 28th is going to be a very special day as I drive that car over to a secret location where we unveil it to Jeff and Annie. No doubt there'll be laughter, there'll be hugs, and maybe even a few tears. If you guys would like to see that unveiling, stick around to next week where all will be revealed. In the meantime, please look after one another and keep the shiny side up. Bye now.
How about that, eh?
Nice one, mate.
Nice one.
Nice.